Okay, this you guys know how much I'm not a fan of graphing, but we do need to get this in. Okay, make a table for the function. Okay, it says y equals 3 times x. So basically it's saying if x is these numbers, what's y? Well, it's that easy. You just take it times 3. So 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, now let's talk about what happened here. So I was going up by 3 every time. So it's steadily upwards. That's a line. Okay. Line slope would be 3 because you're going up by 3 every time. Every 1 x unit, you're going up 3. Okay, so the reason you had a line here is because of the x to the first power. The x was just to the first power. So anytime I see that, I know it's going to be a line. But now, what's going to happen if x is to the second? Okay, so you'll have to put, it means y equals 3 times x to the second power. So it's saying, okay, if x is these numbers, what is y? Now, what I'm going to do with the second power is actually insert it into my calculator. I want to put a parentheses around it. So 3 parentheses 3 to the second power. Okay. Or negative 3, I guess, because we're putting negative 3 in first, to the second power. Okay, and that gives me 27. That makes sense because negative 3 times itself is 9, positive 9, because a negative times itself is positive. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, now if I put a negative 2 in, I'm guessing the answer is 12 because negative 2 times itself is 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, now you're wondering, what about the negative? Well, when you take a negative times itself, it becomes positive. Okay, now if I take 3 negative 1 to the second, that's 3. And now 3 times 0 to the second is 0. Okay, now let's see what happens when I do the positives. Well, I'm guessing the same thing because 1 times itself is 1. And then times 3 is 3. And I'm guessing here you're going to get 12, and here you're going to get 27 again. So if you look, there is a pattern, okay? Maybe not quite as obvious as this, but you're not going by the same thing every time. So it's not steady like this one was. But what happens is you go down, and then you come back up. You hit a peak here with 0, and then you come back up. And this is known as the vertex, but it's not always going to be 0. Just know that, okay? Now, the reason that it was a parabola is because of the x to the second power. So second powers make these parabolas is what they're called, okay? Now, it goes this way, and on a story problem, we're used to it going like this, and it is going to still do that, but sometimes it's going to go like this. Okay. Now, the key to graphing a parabola might look like this, is knowing where this middle is at. Okay, that's the most important point, the peak point. It's called the vertex point. Now, and it's not always putting 0 under x either, as you will find out. Okay. Okay, so we're going to graph some of these bad boys. Okay, now I've helped you out a little bit with kind of a guideline sheet because this can be confusing. You might not know where stuff's coming from. And I also helped you out up here, okay? So we see a second power, we know it's a parabola. So I make an XY table. Now, the middle point, we're going to only need 3 points, okay? It's all you need. You need a point here, here, and here. Now, to find the middle, because I know this is a parabola, and also if you have a positive number in the front, it's going to look like this, okay? It's going to be a U instead of the upside down U. All right, now the formula for finding the middle x is written here. Opposite of b divided by 2 times a. Now, it kind of sounds like the song, but there's no square root. Okay, you're not going to use a square root. You're just going to take the opposite of what b is and then find the product of 2 and a and divide. Okay, and that finds the middle x that we want to pick because there's going to be 3 points. Now, a is in front of the x to the second. We know that. B is in front of the x. Okay? And I don't really care what c is because I don't need it to graph. I would need c if I needed to solve, but not to graph. Okay, so I want you to just go off to this formula, and we take the opposite of b. So the opposite of plus 6 would be negative 6. And then I like to put that a in parentheses. And a here is 3. Okay, so first you need to find the product of 2 and 3. Well, that's 6. Okay, and then I divide negative 6 by 6, and it's negative 1. So negative 1 is going to be the middle x. And then I plus 1 and minus 1 to find the other x's to use. Okay, so I take negative 1 plus 1. 0. Then I go back to the negative 1 and then minus 1. Okay, so negative 2. Okay, now replace the x with each value to find y. Okay, so now to find y, put those x's in parentheses. And what you're going to do, and I got both kinds of calculators here to show you how to do this. You're going to insert it all into the calculator. So I've got y equals 3. So I'm going to put 3 in, parentheses, and I'm going to put 0 in first. So 0, close it. Now you need to take that to the second power. It's kind of like you do those one area problems. Plus 6, parentheses, I'm going to put 0 in again. And then minus 3. Okay, I got negative 3. Now, with this kind of calculator, here's what you need to do. You kind of got to ignore what's coming up on the screen. Punch in 3 times, and then you're going to hit your parentheses key. You're going to put 0 in, and then close the parentheses. And hit second power. Your second power key's right here. And then keep typing. Don't worry about what's coming up on the screen. Plus 6. And then times. With these calculators, you have to hit times before you click the parentheses. Parentheses 0. Then close it. And then minus 3. Okay, so I got negative 3, just like I did here. Okay. All right, now I find the other ones. Now I'm going to put negative 1 in for x. So I've got 3 parentheses, and then x comes out. Negative 1's going in that parentheses to the second power. Plus 6, parentheses, negative 1 again, but not to the second power. Minus 3. Okay, that gives me negative 6. Okay, now let's try negative 2, 3. With this calculator, 3, you got to hit times before you parenthesize, and then hit 2 negative. Close the parentheses so it goes off your screen. Second power, plus 6 times parentheses, negative 2, close the parentheses, and then minus 3. I got negative 3. Now, with a parabola, these should be the same. This and this. What I got my pencil on. If they're not, you're wrong on something. Okay, so x is this way, so I stay in the middle and I go down 1, 2, 3. Negative 1, negative 6. I go left 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then negative 2, negative 3. I go left 2, down 1, 2, 3. And it is a parabola. Don't make a V, make it curved. Okay. There we have it. Now you're wondering, why would anybody want to do this? Well, you're going to use this in the story problem, kind of the last story problem we talked about. We've covered all the story problems, okay, and except for one more, and it involves this stuff. Okay, second power is here, but this time we have a negative in front, so it's going to go this way. That's why on the story problems, they always go this way, because that negative 16x squared is always negative, okay? So that's why that goes the way it does. Okay, so make your chart. You make your chart and decide which way it's going. Now I got to find the three x's, but the opposite of b and 2 times a finds the middle x. Okay, so a is in front of x squared, so a is negative 2, and b is in front of the x to the first. Okay, so come over here. Opposite of plus 12 is negative 12, and then 2. I like to put a parentheses instead of a dot, but that's just me. Negative 2. Now find that little product down there. That's negative 4, and then I divide negative 12 by that product. Negative 12 by negative 4 is positive 3. So this time 3 is my middle x. So the middle x is not the same every time. You have to use this to find it. And then I plus 1, which is 4, minus 1, which is 2. Okay, now to find your y's, replace the x with each value. So replace it, replace it. Okay, so negative 2 parentheses, and then I'm going to put 4 inside. Second power it. Plus 12 parentheses, put a 4 inside, and then subtract 10. Okay, I got 6. Again, with these calculators, you have to hit 2 negative times before you do parentheses with these. Hit parentheses and a little parentheses icon pops up, and you're going to tell your calculator, I want 3 in the parentheses, and close it. Hit the second power, plus 12, times, and then parentheses again, and we tell our calculator, I want 3 in that, close it, and minus 10. Okay, I got 8 there. Oh, wait a second, did I do that right? Let me see. -18. Sorry about the awkward pause. -18. Yeah, it's 8. Okay. I'll just rotate between calculators. So this 2 goes in, because that's boring when I have people. -2, and then I'm going to put 2 in. Second power, plus 12. Now I put 2 in. Always put the same number in for x, minus 10, so y equals 6. Okay. Okay, so 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And 2, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, wrap that up. Okay, next one. Again, second power. There'd be a positive 1 there. You don't see it, but it's there. It's positive, so it's going to look like that. Okay. Wait a second. I screwed that up big time. Okay, that last one. I messed that up. So I don't know what I'm doing. Gosh, so 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it. 3, 8. I don't know why I only went here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it should look like this. What was I doing? Pathetic. Okay, next one. Again, that's positive. So, again, make your table. Okay, so A and B. I just need A and B to graph it. Okay, so the opposite of b is -6. And then I would be taking 2 times my a, which happens to be a 1. Okay, so cross that out, and that's 2. And -6 divided by 2 is -3. Okay, so -3 is the middle x. Now I add 1 to that number. And I subtract 1. Okay, so I'll put a negative, parenthesize the x's, and I'm going to put -2. And I'll rotate between calculators. I'll do the middle one, the -3 with this one. So 1 parentheses -2 to the second plus 6 parentheses -2 minus 3, -11. Okay, now to this one, 1 times before you do the parentheses, and you tell, okay, I want -3 in there, close it, take that to the second power, plus 6 times parentheses. You wanted -3 in there, but not to the second power, so I just go -3. I got -12. Okay, I'll go with this one again. So 1 times parentheses -4, close it, second power, plus 6 times parentheses -4, close it, but not to the second power, then -3. Okay, I got -11, so I'm probably doing it right. Okay, I'm going to have to go count by 2s to get these double-digit numbers. So I go left 2, down 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And no, you don't have to go by 2s this way, just this way. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then -4, -11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, next one. A and B, okay? And we got a positive, so it's going to look like this again. Okay, ax squared plus bx. So a is this, b is this. So the opposite of -18 is +18. And then I take 2 times the a, which is 3, but not opposite a. The b's, this is opposite. This is what you see. Okay, so 18 and 6, and that's 3, okay? Positive 3, and then I plus 1 to get 4, minus 1 to get 2. Okay, so to find the y's, parenthesize these suckers, and if y equals that crap, just plug the numbers in. So y is equal to 3 times 4 to the second, minus 18 times 4, minus 12, okay? -36. I'll go to this one. 3 times parentheses 3 to the second minus 18 times parentheses 3 minus 12. Got -39 there. This better be -36. Okay. So 3 times parentheses 2, close it, second power, minus 18 times parentheses, and then 2, close it, minus 12. Yep, got it right. So I know I'm doing it right. If these, you can always check. Okay, so let's go by 5s here, because these are not going to get by 2s. 5's probably the way to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36. Okay, 3, -39. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 39. 2, -36. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36. Okay, good. Now I want to take a look at some of these. Now in these there's no second power, so it's going to be a line. Okay, you know how to graph lines. If the y is by itself, you can just put in 0, 1, and 2. So 3 times 0 plus 2 is 2. 3 times 1 plus 2 is 5. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Yeah, none of it's the same because it's a line. It's always different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then this one, that we don't have a second power, so that's going to be a line 2, but I'm not in a good position just to plug numbers in for y, okay? Or for x, I should say, because the y's got a bunch of garbage with it, so it's best to do the double 0 and write this out twice. And find the y-intercept and x-intercept. So x is 0, get him. Divide by 5. That's 4. Y is 0, get that. And then divide by 2. That's 10. So 0, 4, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. And 10, 0, I'd probably have to count by 2s if it's into the double digits. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Again, just because I'm going by 2s here doesn't mean that I have to go by 2s there. It doesn't work that way. Okay, that's all I have to say on that. You got, I only put 2 problems on this, so yeah, good.